I'm not fond of the 50s. One of the reasons was, in the education department, they had these sort of older women who had gone to normal school in 1899, graduated in 2 years, took religion and first aid. They gave them each a bun in the back, a chignon, and a large black dress and Boy Scout shoes, sent them into schools to say, "No talking! No talking! Button your lips, no talking!" And of course you folded your hands in front of you and you were ready to learn. No tension, no talking. And this was like the worst to me. And civil defense was heavy then. I don't know if you remember this, but this was like an overriding concern. They spent so much time talking about it that I had nightmares. I cared. First of all, they were very subtle. They told us, "Children, a siren means disaster." Dream about them often. When you hear a siren go under a tree, give up. It's too terrible. Don't even try to save yourself. It's just take this pill. You know. They taught us a siren means disaster. Then they had the foresight to blow a siren every day at 12 o'clock. Walking home from school with a lunch bag. What's that? Oh, it's just 12 o'clock. Oh, you know. I used to second guess. What if the Russians bombed at 12 o'clock? They're not idiots. We'll bomb at 12 o'clock, Ivan. They don't know. They think it's lunch. We had all kinds of warnings, you know. We had, this is how stupid they were. They actually let this information out. We had warnings when the enemy was over Montana. You know, you got 4 short blasts, 3 long blasts. When they're over Alaska, you get 5 long. Then you could really kid around. You could play handball for an hour before you take cover. They had ones over Chicago. Then they had ones no warning at all. You hear propellers over 125th Street. You have to jump under the desk, put your ass to the window. That's what it actually said in the official instructions. Put your ass immediately to the window. Signed, Averell Harriman, governor. You know. They didn't fool around. You know. Well, they had no time to be pompous. The kids knew what that meant. We were given dog tags, which was one of the highlights of my school career. This was surely one of the most frightening things because they let information leak out that it could withstand a certain amount of heat. You know, and they got up, of course, with great subtlety. "Children, no talking. Take these tags home. They're to be used in the event that you're burnt beyond recognition in a nuclear holocaust. And no talking during a nuclear holocaust. I want an orderly nuclear holocaust. 2 lines, no talking. I'll be taking names. It's one of my greatest fears that I might get a 0 during a nuclear holocaust. I myself was educated in the New York City school system. I went to PS's, public school it stands for. Everywhere else in the world, you have a name for your school. You know, I go to the Woodrow Wilson School in Chicago, you know. I go to the Thomas J. Duncan School in Omaha. I go to PS 94. Is that depersonalizing? We even had school songs. You actually sang songs to numbers. Now this is, I want to be the kind of boy that 94 can boast about. 80, dear 80, your name will rise above 79. That's what you're, even at sentimental ones, 406, we love you. The halls of 406 was a very good. I went to DeWitt Clinton High School for boys up in the Bronx. An all-boys school. I was in the DeWitt Clinton High School marching band. I have a chin strap scar right here under my chin to show it. This band was the lowest, the worst band that ever lived. They couldn't read music. They had colors on the glockenspiel. They orange, blue, purple, green, 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 purple, green, blue. You know, inferior band, the lowest. They couldn't get anyone to be in it, you know. There was no prestige item. You could get hurt in the halls being in the band. Hey, band fag. Boom. For some reason, very intolerant of you know, musicians. I don't know what, you know, Clinton. But we played the national anthem. People from every country stood. People didn't know what they were doing. You could always tell a DeWitt Clinton boy on the street by the tremendous rapport they had with women. Perhaps you've seen them. Hey, lady! Hey, sweetheart! Hey, honey, where you going? Give me a cigarette. You know what I could never stand? The school lunch. Oh, man. And when I was a teacher, too, as a student, both, to mix in with, there's always this lunchroom lady, kind of pale, complected, with a white dress and a net on her hair, There's some Board of Education ruling, a health rule, keep her hair out of the food, because her arm's like an ape. But she's got no net on them, just on her head, but she's bald altogether, but just to wear a net, and the kind of lady that wears a corsage for every holiday, no matter how minor, Happy Sugar Plum Pumpkin Day, Happy Tuesday, happies, lots of happies. They're getting so elaborate. Around Christmas time, she wears on her breast a complete nativity scene that moves. Little Salvador Dali figures, kings and princes running all around her chest. And she's doing her job for the morning, which is stirring the Yankee bean soup, which will cause many absences in the afternoon. This is the government surplus, like it was then 32 cents a meal. Yankee bean with Franks, little red jobs that bounce, dong! Those little toy-looking things, this is so really good. This is stuff that India rejected. Oh, no, thank you very much. We don't want this, no. No. Is this the Yankee bean? No, thank you very much. I tell you, no, we are hungry, but we don't... I know you say, frankfurters are secret in our country. We cannot eat them. No, leave me alone. '14 is the most sexual age I can ever remember. At that time, 14, I was totally couldn't do a thing. I thought about sex, dreamt, schemed, planned, got nothing. All I did was grope and be clumsy. There are certain times in your life, like dancing close to Johnny Mathis. I can remember that. Not to Johnny himself. One looks at me suddenly. No, I'm talking about to his record. And groping around, Chances are my composure will be the moment I come to you. And the poor girl, Bob, do you respect me? Yes, I respect you. I just want to touch your tits. I'm sorry, and I'd walk home with a limp, of course. Hello. The blue Monongahela's, perhaps you... with a mother who didn't understand at the other end. What happened? Nothing, Ma. I hurt my leg. Leave me alone. Oh, humiliating. I remember I found contraceptives in my father's drawer when I was 8 years old, and didn't know what the hell they were, and like everyone else who found them, proceeded to blow them up. And, with a modicum of intelligence, in 10 minutes, you realize you have a very poorly made balloon here. I found them under a pair of Argyle socks that the old man never wore, next to a Japanese scarf with 101 sexual positions on it, and a deck of cards that I went steady with for about 2 years. I remember waiting outside a drugstore, planning to buy contraceptives. I used to have to work up my courage. What a dummy I was. So stupid. I used to go in and finally pad my order. Can I have 4 bathing caps, tube of toothpaste, a comb, and a pack of... if you got it. Oh, no, it's my brother. He gave me a note. I don't know. No, my arms, they're 20 feet long, actually. I felt so awkward and so stupid. I would have paid a guy to buy them for me, really. Somebody could have made a fortune, a kind of contraceptive purchasing agent. Listen, man, are you busy? Would you do me a little favor? Sure, what are you embarrassed? He's embarrassed. Give him a pack of Trojans. And can I have a toothbrush, too, with that, please? And some Pride, if you got it. I'd like a little. I remember once traveling with my parents in Maryland, and we went into this gas station. I went into the men's room, and there on the wall was a contraceptive machine. And I couldn't believe it. Hey, you can beat the system. I was going, hey, I'm 16, man. I can get away with it. Like the crime of the century. I thought maybe, who knows? Maybe the machine knows how old you are. What do I know? You'll put in a quarter. You're too young. What happens? A kid in the back trying to get contraceptive. And they flood the bathroom, machine guns get on nests. But... it didn't happen. It was only in my imagination. I put in my quarter, And out came the little round beauty. And I took it and I put it in my wallet, where it remained for 4 years. It was a permanent round dent on my buttock. That was like a prestige thing on the dance floor or something. Really, we were animals, dancing. So you flash your wallet, So I said to myself, it's wonderful, wonderful. Hey, Billy, look at that. Oh, I want, tell me, 4X.
Past dreaming, the youthless, bring back the 50s. Whoa, 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 fabulous 50s. Why not cut classes, smoke again in the hall, fight Korea, a regular ball, bring back those 50s. I'm my cool 50s teenager way. Every word I say is an old cliche. I love you. I pray by those little stars above you. I'll never, no, I'll never say goodbye. Put on your bobby socks, comb your hair, have a thrill, while taking cover for your air raid drill. Wonderful 50s. Remember, my darling, 3 blasts, all clear on the drill. And so I wrote a letter to Joe McCarthy in the sky. I said, my teacher is a communist. He said, is she now, or has she ever been? Please, please say those words to me. Howdy doody. Howdy doody. John Foster, darling. John Foster, darling. Cello. Whoa, give me a little 50s back to me.
I was a substitute teacher. That's a kind of peculiar job because you never know when you'll be working day to day. You depend on a call from a school principal to wake you up in the morning. Let me describe it to you. A 10-degree winter morning in New York. I'm curled up in my bed in womb position having a sex dream invariably. Maybe not actually, but symbolically. Hot dogs chasing donuts through the Lincoln Tunnel. Whatever, it's a sex dream. Didn't you ever have that? With the hot dogs dancing, and the donuts wearing garter belts. You never had that one, huh? Oh, what are you people, freaks? I don't know. But the lipstick missing the lip. Anyway, when you're awakened out of a deep sleep, the person that wakes you up always asks, did I wake you? And you deny it. No matter what kind of web you're removing from your mouth and eyes, you deny it. I was just lying down, man. I was just lying down. I was just lying down about 12 hours, I guess. It was a long lie down there. No, I was just lying. People don't like to be caught napping at 6 in the morning. It could be a school principal, So you ever overcompensate, try to sound awake in a hurry, you go, hello! You go the other way. You don't know what's going to come out. Do you ever test your voice before you get on? Off phone, hello, hello. Ring, hello, hello, ring, hello, hello. Good morning, Mr. Klein. This is Mr. Torelli, Jefferson Junior High School. Morning, Mr. Torelli. I didn't wake you, did I, Mr. Klein? Oh, no, Mr. Torelli, I was just reading the Bible. Oh, good, Mr. Klein. Can you come in for Miss Pringle, our German teacher? She's absent this morning. I don't speak any German. No German at all. Sauerkraut. Solid. Be there at 9:20. And spell your name right. When you try to start your car on a 10-degree winter morning, the car seems to talk to you in a kind of poem of twisted, frozen steel. Put the key in the ignition and you go, please don't try to stop me. Please don't try to stop me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. There's always an old man who comes along, he's retired, walking his dog in the morning with advice. You know, watch out, you'll flood it. Don't flood it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Give me a little tinkle there, huh? This is that new kind of low-key FM radio sound that we've all become so used to. Kind of subdued, relaxed, late-night radio. Goes something like this. Well, it's 4 a.m. in New York City. And temperature's 31 degrees. Humidity 82%. And we'll be bringing you the best in musical sounds these next 38 hours. See, got a letter here from a lady in Yonkers, New York, wants to hear more Arnold Stang. We like hearing from you. Answered a trivia question, Ezra Charles. I'll send that right along to you. Let's see, it's 4:01 in New York City. And temperature, a little jump there, 106 degrees. Humidity is 0. Oh, that hair in your nose kind of dries up, doesn't it, Al? Al Dugan, my engineer. Right on, Al. That coffee was good. Say, if you're within the sound of my voice, we'd appreciate it if you call the police. Al and I are sealed up inside here. We'd like to get the hell out. So, little police emergency action, men in blue, and before you do, it's 4:02 in New York City. And just before you go into news time, just before I go into coma, we'd like to take you over to Harry's finest credit furniture, Harlem's finest at 125th Street and 2nd Avenue, for the very, very finest in furniture buys.
Hello, this is Harry's, 125th Street and 2nd Avenue. I don't care how long you're working, we will give you credit. I don't care where you're working, I don't care if you're currently in prison. We can work out a deal where others have failed. I have a beautiful bedroom set here, complete with a bed for $4. How do I do it? Volume. So right on, Daddy-O, Mommy-O, Soul Brothers. And here's Rocky to tell you about more of these beautiful furniture buys.
Thank you, Harry. See, we have a lovely child's crib here, guaranteed for 5 years, made of durable lead paint. I live in New York City, and I have tremendous respect for people who fight adversity and, hard time and the horrors and misery and fear in the city sometimes. You ever see a guy fishing at 125th Street in the Hudson River? That is patience. Supposing he did catch something. You have any idea what kind of bulldog monster fish that's got to be? What a tough New York fish. He'll come out of the water. Boom! Get that goddamn hook out of my mouth, you idiot! What, do they think that tickles you, moron? Give me that bait. I mean, this is, 20 years dodging tugboats. I'm going to fall for that hook, you rube. What are you, from out of town? All New York City animals are tough, like New York City people. Everywhere else, it's save the wildlife. Everywhere else in the world. In New York City, it's public policy to kill whatever wildlife we have. It is a misdemeanor to feed a pigeon in the city of New York, which they're not enforcing yet, thank goodness, 1984. It'll happen, though. You know, what are they? Old people, who feeds them, right? What, are they going to arrest them? Come here. All right, Muldoon Pigeon Squad, let's go, Pop, up against the wall. Watch them for knives, Billy. We're going to go, incidentally, on a expedition to one of the many all-night New York grocery sandwich places. You know them. There's a chain of them. We'll see the hostile West Indian who makes sandwiches. There. You want lettuce, man? Oh, you want pickle too, huh, man? Oh, you want 2 pieces of bread? Oh, just a mean guy. Hates his work. Because, you know, it's funny company there, 4 in the morning. A lot of people scratching their necks. Oh, give me 4,000 Hershey bars and a pack of Camels. You know, allergic, apparently, scratching his arm. I just, you know, they like sweets a lot, the junkies. You know. Give me 3 Yoo-Hoos, 12 Pepsis, a pound of sugar, and a pack of Camels. Give me 17 Devil Dogs, 3 Hostess Twinkies, 14 tons of brown sugar, and a nut. There is a panhandler in New York City who works 57th Street. Some panhandlers indict you for not giving them, you know, this guy has the greatest bit. Let me describe him. He looks like Khrushchev, like chubby, round, soft, cute. He has a woolen hat with ear laps. He's an old man, and he doesn't indict you directly. He just makes you feel like a criminal if you pass him by very simply holding out his hand and going, eat, manja, you know. And, the guy, I gave him $quarter, half dollar bill. Just, you know, conscience. Oh, I wrote checks, anything. And I feel like I get again and again about a week's worth. And finally, the guy blew his bid. I saw him loading his belongings into a Buick Riviera by the New York AC in the back. I said, "Hey, please." Well, I didn't know his name. Please, come here for a minute. But I was in California doing some work last summer. The Hollywood Palace parking lot. I park my car, come out, and there's another guy going, "Please." It's a franchise. I don't know much, but I'll tell you, if you're walking on the street and you see a man wearing sandals and socks, he's going to have a foreign accent. Try it. You're going, "Hey, pardon me, can you?" "I don't know, Philadelphia, I don't know." When you're up late at night, that's when the public service comes on. That's when you get things like anti-alcoholism commercials, you know. "Get him off our highways. Sure, he's good. Reduces the population." Who's watching at 4 in the morning? Drunks. You have those pathetic ones that really put you right down, you know. "Hello, I have 1 kidney. I'm going to die next week." "Give me $1. That's kidney, box 416, Radio City Center. They always choose an appropriate thing. "Kum Suk is a 15-year-old Korean child who has never eaten. Won't you help?" That's hunger, box 861. That's rickets, box 12B, Radio City. It's always Radio City. It's a little cubby hole. They stuff all the mail in. And, how many people are really scampering around for a pencil? Whoa, I got my pencil. What is that, hunger? Oh, I missed it now. I missed the Korean orphan now. And I blew MS yesterday. Now CP I can't get. And I got a heart fund check to write, you know. I look forward to the day when they will not ask private citizens for donations to do what should be done by all of our treasure. You know what they're showing again? My Little Margie. My Little Margie. There, she was quick. Oh, she quick. "Hello, hello, Dad. Miss Odette and I are going to go down and cause some mischief. Hello, Dad. Dad. My Little Margie was the first television heroine on Speed. Hello, Dad. Tremendous amount. She had the metabolism of a hummingbird. Has to eat 3 times her body weight to survive. And hello, Dad. I'm going to go down and get a steak. Keep going. Mrs. Odette's this cryptic 90-year-old woman. How Margie, I haven't had so much fun since, she's ready to die any minute. And so she's happy for whatever she can pick up and kicks. And Willie Best, the black guy who played the elevator operator, who personally set back race relations in this country 50 years with his portrayal of a frightened, psychotic elevator operator. Oh, Willie, would you come with us on this mischief? No, Miss Margie, I can't leave my room. So they had him in a permanent drug-induced state of catatonia so his eyes would roll properly for the takes. It was a hell of a thing to accomplish. And, of course, the boss, Albright, if your daughter gets in one more thing, remember him? Mr. Honeywell, the boss. Albright, if he looked like Community Chest, you have won $10 in the beauty contest. That white mustache. Albright, if you're not... And, of course, the father himself, Mr. Albright, with the New England accent and the very high voice that kept him out of really being a success in talkies. Oh, Margie. Oh, you poor old father, Margie. Oh, you're going to put, oh, Margie. This kind of impotent, castrated image of it. Oh, Margie. Oh, where are my balls? Oh, here they are, Dad. Miss Mrs. Odette. Commercials. Hey, this is a pet subject with me. There's a certain kind of commercial that really turned me off. There's one, for example, Kraft Foods. Yeah, Ed Hurley has been doing them for years. The recipe ones, I have run from the room at top speed for many years. Why not take a nice piece of meat, put some Kraft Velveeta on it, and screw your family? Why not take a nice Frankfurter, put some cloves and parsley in there with some Kraft Velveeta and dive right in and live there for a few months. For many years, he advertised the automats. Automat is sort of phasing out in New York. And it was never the food that was bad. Vegetable plate, dynamite, right? A nice, Harvard beets, baked beans, right? Cream kale. How about that? It's an off-beat vegetable, isn't it? Give me some cream kale. Get out of here. Smack you right in your... It was never the automat food that it was bad. It was the company that was sort of hard to take. You sit with strangers, at the tables, community tables. I used to always sit opposite an old man who has his belongings in a paper bag on the table and takes out his teeth and puts them on the table there. He generally has a story, I was in vaudeville. Oh, were you, Pop? Good. Say, why don't you take my fish cakes? Oh, sure, you can have my cream kale. Sure, go ahead. Take the rolls and butter, too, Pop. Let's get out of here, man. Here's a commercial I hate. Oh, I'm Peg Bracken. I hate to cook. You can definitely light a match on her voice. I don't believe in capital punishment. I believe someone commits a murder, you tie him up 2 years, put headphones on him, 2 years straight of Peg Bracken's voice. Oh, I'm Peg Bracken. He'll never kill again. The possible exception of Peg Bracken. One really horrible commercial that women should be pounding the door down. This is the Geritol. This commercial is a real loser. First of all, they're losing their old market. See, traditionally that was the market, right? But, of course, inflation being what it is, and the fixed income being what it is, old people no longer have money to flitter away on like Geritol. They have to squibble it away on frivolous things like food, An extra apple, good. It's really, so consequently they're like heading at a whole new audience now. And they have this very attractive middle-aged woman, 42 or so, on television, doing things, living, acting, very pretty. And they have her husband's voice underneath going, my wife. I don't know how she does it. Brings up the children, takes them to school, does the laundry, goes to the bathroom twice a day. Takes Geritol. My wife. I think I'll keep her. Where does he come off to have the nerve? Really? She has to come before him every day. Will you keep me one more day, honey? One more day, honey. Move along now. Get back to the kitchen. I don't like insecticide commercials. It's a typical American kill mentality to personalize them, make them human-like in terms of an animation. They make me love them, then they annihilate them. Why don't they make them impersonal vermin? Instead, they have to have them cute, doing the bebop in your kitchen. Hey, baba, reba, hey, baba, reba, hey, baba, we're sure having a ball, hey. And I love them. And suddenly this cry of terror, Jigger's raid! And in comes this big fascist bottle. Self-righteous, hands on hips, looks around and gives them the old spray. They're not satisfied. Poof! They animate graves and crosses, and then kills them dead, dead, dead. The words are big. Unbelievable. But no cockroach I ever knew worth his weight in anything could care less, Hey, Bobber, Jigger's raid! Who gives a shit? Hold your nose, Frankie! Hey, Bobber. The energy companies. They're spending more money, all these oil companies, on telling you what they're doing for the atmosphere and, to fight pollution than they are on fighting pollution. Shell engineers now have oil herder. We're working on oil slicks, and they have this thing that controls oil slicks. And at the end of the commercial in small print, it says, only in a bathtub or a toilet bowl. Anything larger than a bathtub, and you've got to have the oil slick. How about this? I don't know anything about gasoline, but I do know deck shoes. And if Shell can make good deck shoes, it figures they can make good gasoline. Thank you. And we're sitting home watching, that makes sense, doesn't it? They have the most impressive voices doing their commercials. Amoco had a commercial running for a long time. They've taken off now. This really self-righteous thing. Guy with a work shirt and a guitar. Just an ordinary guy representing just an ordinary American oil company. Singing, what can one man do, my friend? What can one man do? Searching, thinking, conscience, to fight pollution in the air that's coming out from everywhere. And then they have him taking his baby home from the hospital, and he says confidently underneath, I like Amoco. I'm glad I use it. Of course, what comes out of the pipe now with Amoco is good for my baby. What can one man do, I'd like the president of Amoco to put his mouth on the exhaust pipe of a new car with Amoco chugging in it. You'll see what one man can do, my friend. The Our Gang comedies. They were made mostly in the 30s. Hal Roach made them. They used child actors, and they couldn't remember lines. Consequently, there's about one word of dialogue to every half hour of music. And Hal Roach had 4 tunes that he played over and over again during them. They break into one suddenly, and suddenly another one. It goes something like this. Opening shot, 5 kids sitting on a curb with a dog with a circle in his eye, doped out. I don't feel like going to school today. Me neither. In that way of overacting that only kids have. How about you, Stymie? Little black child. I'm too scared to do it. Always frightened. His hair in a perpetual state of rising, at all times, rolling his eyes. And they even asked the dog, you want to go to school, Petey? No, he doesn't want to go to school either. And, of course, the rich kid chauffeur. Master Martin, your mother wants you in the limousine and home this instant, and put on your back brace. Oh, gee! The moral was simple. It's no fun to be a millionaire's child during the Depression. An alfalfa switzer singing too high key. I'm in the mood for love. Simply just comes out of nowhere. They decide they're going to play hooky, have measles, and they take a strainer and spat black paint through it, all except Stymie, little black child who in a triumph of good taste spats white paint through his, so you know he's a black child. The dog has measles too. And along comes the truant officer, usually Edgar Kennedy, or some guy that pulls hair out of his head, slow burn. And everybody in the 30s always said, say, before they said anything. Say, what are you kids doing? Nothing. It's 20 minutes into the program. They start a chase. They start, oh, I'll get you kids. Finally, it turns out the kids at school had ice cream and cake, didn't even have to learn it all, and they missed out, and there's a moral. We'll never play hooky again. Choosing a musical instrument. Comes a certain time in your life as a child, your father grabs you and said, you must learn a musical instrument. You're 11 years old. You'll have to work your way through college. Choose it. I went for flash, saxophone. He said, come here. Take a flute. Don't be a schmuck. It's light. Carry it around, the little thing. You put it in your pocket, you go home. It's light. You know. There were suggestions of accordions. Forget it. I can't take an accordion. I heard the arguments were, oh, it's a hell of an instrument. It's an orchestra in itself. You can take it anywhere. It's mobile. I think an accordion's groovy if you happen to be in a prisoner of war camp. If you don't have access to real instruments. You know, hey, solid for our show, Lieutenant. You know, one of those. But in civilization, there's no excuse for an accordion. Or its vicious little brother, the miniature concertina. Which is so fond you may remember of sea voyages. Yody hoody, shiver me timbers, captain's got the food. Big pirate becomes a fruit there with a little rag on his head and Emily written on it. I love organ if they play Bach or something, but roller rink organ turns me right off. That kind of thing they advertise on television lately. Play the organ at home, amaze your friends. Da, 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 da. And they play a tune that, of course, everyone whistles all day long, Red River Valley. Da, 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 da. Fun for the entire family. Da, da. Because you use the colors, blue, orange, purple, green, chartreuse. And if you go to someone else's house, let me play your organ. You sit down, where are the colors? A girl with pigtails with her hands on her chin, you know. Da, 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 da. And they have this boy set up to go, hey, Dad, play Red River Valley again. Why, okay, Tad. Da, 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 da. I was a rabid Yankee fan when I was a child. It seemed to matter and mean everything to me. I walked around with a Yankee hat and jacket for about 3 years. The hat was removed by surgery on my 12th birthday. I had an NY on my head. Well, my father took me to Macy's department store to see 2 Yankee heroes. And I was there early. I was there 3 hours. And they were late. And what a tremendous thrill it was when my hero arrived drunk. And I said, gee, Hank, how many games did I win the series by? And he went, you Yankee Junior, young fella? And he began to wink, which is a good way to patronize children. Hey, young fella, you know, you Yankee Junior? Yeah, I'm a Yankee Junior, drunken bastard. I'm a young fellow. I'm 9 years old. I might go the wrong road now. Just by seeing you here in Toxic, you know, I didn't say that. I used to go to Yankee Stadium and used to sit upstairs for $1.25, sneak down for the last out by the box seats, right? Right? Have you ever done that? Anyone here? You're under arrest, sir. Well, What a minor crime that is, really. Sneaking down for the last out on a Tuesday afternoon. The Yankees were winning 15-2. It was in September. It was 40 degrees. There's very little chance that the president of IBM is going to use his box seat that day for the last out. Who knows? He'll come along. Beaver, where's my seat? Where's that little punk? Get him out of here. So I sneaked down the last out, and the stadium cop would chase us. Really, I guess he was just doing his job. Overreacted a little bit. Drew his gun. All right, get out of there, kid. Come on. Biting his lip, wanting us to act up, All athletes sound alike when they're interviewed. They all sound Southern. Well, my arm's feeling real good, Ralph. I feel I can't help this ball club. It's a good ball club. And we got good defense on this ball club. I feel we can't help this ball club. It's a good ball club. Doesn't matter where he's from. He could be a Rhodes Scholar. Yes, but extemporating that afterwards. I've got an interview now, but I'll be right with you, Matthew. My arm's feeling real good, Ralph. I feel I can't help this ball club. It's a good ball club, and we got good pitching on this ball club. I'm going. Football players say the entire name of their sport because they tend to forget because they're hit on the head quite hard every week. Well, it's a good football team, it's a good football club. They never say ball. But it's a good team, it's a good football club. He likes to hit people on the football team. And the football club. The game gets better and better, even though there is a slight hypocrisy. Hello, I'm a tight end. Don't take drugs. What is that? I'm a tight end. The game of football gets better and better. Incredible, vicarious crashing of men, but the halftime show really stinks. They start psyching you up for the halftime about a half hour before halftime on television so you won't switch to the other league. What do we have for them, Bill, at halftime? McPhillips High School marching band, Ralph. They're state champs, as you remember, and then... Really? And they work so hard, the kids, but really, what happens at halftime? Come on, Frank, let's get a couple of hot dogs, take a leak, come on! There are very few people that really care. How many are you going to say? Not me, I'm not missed this halftime show. Phillips High School marching band, they're state champs. They always pay tribute to something, a salute to, And now, the McPhillips High School marching band, under the direction of J. Carlton Blander, will pay its tribute to mayonnaise. They'll start doing a scatter step, form a gigantic mayonnaise jar in the field. And one kid missed practice, doesn't know where to go with a trombone. He's running around like a chicken without a head. From the stands, it looks like a fly in the mayonnaise jar. And they're announcing it's a fly in the mayonnaise jar, Bill. It's very clever. First thing you do is unscrew the top off the cap of the jar. Now, the band will show the history of mayonnaise through the years. First, there's turkey salad. Always an appropriate tune. They form a turkey on the 20-yard line. The turkey lays an egg that walks to the 50. The egg bows to the veterans, walks back. Joins the turkey at the 30 in perfect sequence. And now a gigantic bottle of ketchup beats the mayonnaise at the 50-yard line, forms Russian dressing. From our Russian friends. Now, that's the scatter step when they have to go anywhere. They're doing hipper tunes now. They're doing stuff like going out of my head over you, and they do it. It still sounds corny, big band, Dun 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 dun. They form a gigantic head and they go out of it too. The meaning of words. As a child, certain things were couched a certain way. For example, my mother gave me a note to give the druggist and said, "Robert, your sister is unwell. Take this to the druggist." I said, "I don't unfeel like it. What is this un?" Did you have that where they've used phony names for real things because of their own self-consciousness and embarrassment? Robert, don't touch your poo-poo. Henry, get your hands over your tsitsu. Hildegard, you made a boom-boom. Excuse yourself and leave the table. We don't make boom-booms at the dinner table, and leave your punky alone. And we'll talk about your toddies Tuesday when Aunt Rose comes. You've got a dungy in your nose. If you've got to make a TT go while the boo-boo is warm. We cannot have this. Well, the world ain't like that, you know. When you grow up, a doctor is not going to examine you and say, I'm afraid it's your poo-poo, bub. We're going to perform a poo-pooectomy, I'm afraid. Do you have Blue Cross? Fine, we'll get a room for you. The draft board was a very humiliating experience for me, but they did not go, all right, men, line up, show your tutus to the sergeant, let's go. I said tutus, soldier, not poo-poos. Poo-poos Monday morning, 0600. And cease and desist on those bum-bums, Marine. The enemy can detect a bum-bum. On your way. How about certain words like I remember this one? Hey, that guy's a homo. How about... He's a homo! I remember what a mystique that had at 11 or 12. Hey, that guy at the swimming pool, everyone saw him. He's a homo. The one who froze like that, he's a homo. You know, the man is a homo, but crying out. How about this? She's a hoa. I think she's a hoa, man. The one with the wig. No, not him, he's a homo. The one next to him, she's a hoa. Homo, who? I remember I once looked on a bottle of milk, it said homo. I went, poo! Puh! I'll never drink milk again, pug. My films don't do too well. I had one now, last one, Rivals, is currently now in a double feature in Far Rockaway with Fuck Me, Whip Me, Kill Me, Suck Me. Sailor's Night Out, I think, is with that, and Boys Will Be Boys. Do you really have to wait an hour after you eat before you go in swimming? Is that really? I mean... You know, like, I used to think the food would know. You know? 55 minutes, 56 minutes, you know, I couldn't wait to get in. Really, you know, I figured if at 59 and a half, I go in, boom, right down to the Davy Jones locker. My father was a great expert on exactly how long you had to wait. We could tell you by what you ate. What'd you have, a tuna salad sandwich? That's 35 minutes. What'd you have? Egg salad, that's 25. Jell-O is 10, you know. What'd you have? Franks and beans? You don't go in this year. No, you can never go swimming again. I'm sorry. It's very heavy food. Franks and beans. Franks and beans is funny food, isn't it? Franks and beans, hey! Because, you know, beans, hey, beans. You know, it's much funnier than, say, beets. This blues song is dedicated to those modern-day blues singers who were deprived of a deprived childhood. Have they the right to sing the blues? I never hopped a freight train. I mind my P's and Q's. I've never been in prison. Have I the right to sing the blues? I got the middle class educated, college boy, graduated blues. I work 9 to 5, baby. I watch the Walter Cronkite news. I love Walter. I never beat my woman, no matter what she may say. I may even sound authentic, baby, but I don't even talk this way. I got the middle class educated. Folks want me to be a doctor blues. I don't want to be no doctor. I save all my money, baby. I don't even drink no booze. Been as far south as Miami, north to the state of Maine. Well, I never heard the clack of a railroad track, 'cause I always took a train. I talk like a black cat from New Orleans. I go to Yale. Oh, go louder! That lonely train whistle tonight that I never heard.
from an average everyday family group. I was never down in no one-horse town. I was raised on chicken soup. If I the right to sing the blues, if I sing the blues, is it okay? I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. What is a mojo anyway? Right on. I carried the New York City flag in the assembly. And PS 94, that's the blue flag there, you may remember, the emblem on it of the white man jipping the Indian. We're very proud of our flag. I was 11 years old, a small kid with a gigantic flag, the Marine regulation size. You know, I had a strap around here with a little Parcheesi dice cup at the bottom to catch the flag, and ooh, that hurt. It could be impaled in anything but patriotism. When you're holding that heavy flag, you know, at the risk of dropping it, everything seems extra long. Some illiterate kid used to read the Psalm. You're not allowed to do that anymore. I think they cut it out because it was boring. I don't think there were any religious things involved. You know. They just chose illiterates to read the Psalm, being prompted by a teacher. Lord is my shepherd. Shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me like. And everyone's going, including God. Let's go with him. A little earthquake to cause in Argentina in 20 minutes. Go. There was always a policeman who came to teach you how to cross the street. You know, it was uncomfortable. Boys and girls, let's see your gun. You know, they didn't care about that. They know how to cross the street. He brought still shots, you know, of people crossing the street. Ridiculous shot of a man with his foot out crossing the street. Just holding it there with his foot out. I remember once the kid who carried the American flag dropped it by accident. He tripped. I assume it was an accident. Who knows? Maybe a communist stuck his foot out. You know. Tripped him. You know, they do that. You know, they send their kids and they go into the thing, trip them, yay, mao. They give the signal. And they give the special communist handshake. But the kid dropped the American flag. And it blew his mind. Because they imbued the flag with a special power beyond itself. Like, you know, who knows? He started to bend down and kiss the little gold fringes on the side, those little tzitzis things, you know, on the side. Under the approving eye of an adult teacher. That's it, kiss the broadcloth. Very nice, you know. Give it a nice kiss, that'll make everything all better, you know. Children fantasize. Somebody like George Washington's gonna pop out. Hey, you'll drop me! After all I suffered at Valley Forge, you little Jew boy! They wouldn't let me say Jew boy on the Tonight Show, you know, NBC. They got uptight. You get too many letters from Alabama. Say, why don't you say Jew bastard? Before we go, I just want to remind you, the birthday of James Abram Garfield, I believe it's March 16th. James Abram Garfield, certainly one of the forgotten names in history, the 20th President of the United States, a man who was elected 8 times to Congress from Ohio, extra honest, but most famous for what, Josephine? Sorry, I thought I was a teacher. Famous for having been shot by a disappointed office seeker. It always says the same thing. You read his name and says shot by a disappointed office seeker. You get a child's milk container collection of the presidents. It says George Washington, father of our country. Abraham Lincoln, Emancipation Proclamation. Thomas Jefferson, purchased Louisiana. James Abram Garfield, shot by a disappointed office seeker. You look in the encyclopedia under Garfield, James Abram. It says, see office seeker, disappointed.